What you're about to watch is a real ad for a real mobile game.
But you're supposed to be in the gorilla suit.
I am in the gorilla suit. I thought I was doing a pretty good job.
If you're Patrick, then who's that?
Hey guys, it's me, Flying Gorilla, from my new app on the App Store, Flying Gorilla. It's a free download, so I hope you check it out, and I hope...
Yes, I can confirm that this ad is at least mostly real. I have gotten this ad myself before, minus the SpongeBob portion. And if that ad does not convince you to download the game, don't worry, because it convinced me to download the game, and I'm going to show it off for you guys today. Flying Gorilla would like to send you notifications. Of course I'll allow it. Allow Flying Gorilla to track your activity process across other companies' apps and websites. Obviously I'm in.
Flying Gorilla.
I know what you're thinking. Masterpiece. That gorilla really do be flying though. Oh no. Gorilla, are you okay? I'm gonna be honest with you. From the few seconds of gameplay that you saw, you have seen the entire game. You just swiped left and right to avoid the obstacles and collect bananas. When you collect enough bananas, you'll become invincible for a short period of time. And that's it. There's two modes to play on. There's levels and then there's survival. The levels are really short, easy, and pointless. Survival is the best way to play the game as it just goes until you die and it actually gets challenging. With ads, levels are completely unplayable. Every level is so short and you get an ad after most of them. I played this game for over 19 minutes and 8 of those minutes were spent watching ads. It's abysmal. Almost half of the game is advertisements for other games. With that being said, if you pay for no ads, you will be met with an incredibly deep and inspiring game of a flying gorilla. Plus with notifications like this, what more could you ask for? But with ads, oh god is it unplayable. I'm sure by now we all know the awful reputation mobile game ads have. They all have weird advertisements and oftentimes the gameplay doesn't even look at all similar to what was shown. I saw so many different kinds of mobile game ads while playing Flying Gorilla. Only a few of them I would even consider normal. And today I downloaded some of those games and I'm going to be showing them off for you guys. Now please subscribe so I can justify playing this. This game's called Twerk and surprisingly the ad is actually really faithful to how the game really works. And I mean, you're seeing it. You have to get the workout equipment to make your butt bigger, and whenever you get an illness, your butt shrinks. There's other obstacles, but that's the main gameplay. At the end of each level, there's a girl with her butt sticking out, waiting for you, and you have to hit her as far as possible. Some levels end with a dance party where you face off with another girl and you clash butts. You'd probably think there's some mechanic where you need to build up a big enough butt to win these battles, but no. If you do as terrible as possible, you can still win immediately. The gameplay controls fine and is okay, but gets old very fast since there's not a lot of variety and literally zero challenge. However, there is another game mode. You can build your very own workout studio. And would you believe it, all the customers are females, wow. This seems to operate like most other idle games. I guess the overall point of this is you play the runner portion of the game while you wait to upgrade your gym, and there's no other reason to play this game. Nobody has ever downloaded this game for any other reason. And if you were wondering, yes, this game has an absurd amount of ads as you would expect. If you're watching this and think the gameplay looks familiar, well, there is a good reason for that. There are so many versions of this game that work exactly the same, all with slightly different themes. This one's about making your body bigger, and this one you're trying to get an army, and this one you're trying to get more money, etc, etc, etc. They all play the same. They're all linear games where you have to move back and forth to collect items while avoiding others. At the end of each level is this random event that's supposed to make you want to play again so you can do better next time, even though it's completely pointless. And they all have some kind of upgrading system. Meanwhile, after almost every single level of each of these games, there are a million ads. To me, these hardly even count as games. They're meant to give you the illusion of gameplay and progress despite the fact that after you beat the first level, you've basically beaten them all. After most levels in all of these games, they're going to give you an ad or try to trick you into clicking on more ads. And not to mention, while you're watching the ads, some of them try to trick you into playing them only to bring you to a download screen, resulting in a never-ending cycle of kids potentially downloading all of these games, only to maybe play them but definitely download even more games. It's actually kind of messed up and a scam if you think about it. No, they don't trick kids into spending money, but they're tricking them into downloading and spending time on these terrible excuses of mobile games. Like, just play Candy Crush and have a crisis like the rest of us. The only two games I played for more than 2 minutes were the twerk game and the arrow game, and here's the gameplay to ad ratio for both of them. Now let's move on to something awesome. A game where you can control girls' bodies? That's right, boys. It's as cool as it sounds. The game gives you prompts and you have to form the girl's body to match. The game is obviously made for fetishes or just teenage boys. Same thing with the twerk game, of course. And I'm gonna be honest, I get the appeal. I too love it when girls twist their left leg around and make it look like it's their right leg. Yes, I love it when girls hug me like that. As you play the game, you of course get bombarded with a million ads in between levels, along with progress unlocking the love story. Initially, I planned to play this game until I figured out what it was about, then I was gonna put it down. But curiosity got the best of me, so I decided to keep on playing the game to figure out what the story mode was, and I am glad I did because... oh boy. Before I show you this beautiful love story, I want you to leave a comment about your guess on what the ad to gameplay ratio of this entire love story is. So you begin the love story as this guy who has nothing going for him, sigh. Then he bumps into a girl who is carrying way too many books. Plot twist, you're now playing as the girl and you need to take his hand. You then have to make the choice to either forgive him or not. I chose not to. He then offers coffee to make up for everything, so I accepted. So naturally, he does his happy dance. By the way, listen to the game's audio. They sound like characters from Wii Music or something. Alright, chapter complete. Let's now move on to the next one. We now have to spend gems to continue the story, and then we have to watch an ad to proceed. No big deal. We then get this awesome ad and now we're meeting for coffee. Here I decided to change my mind, but it turns out all the choices you make in this game do not matter. So we teleport to the second story balcony along with the waiter. I grab my coffee and enjoy the date, I guess. Now it's time to do something fun. Given the text, it sounds like she didn't enjoy the coffee dates, but is now giving him another chance? Meanwhile, he is so freaking excited to get a second date. I mean, look at him dancing! So here we have to build the date again, but this time we don't have any gems. So we can watch an ad to get more. We're then treated with another sexual game ad that looks to operate the same as the games we looked at earlier. Or is this a dress-up game? I don't know, and I don't care right now. I have a date to prepare for. I now have enough gems to buy half of the amusement park, but I still need more. I guess I'll watch another ad to get more. Wow, they sure do be building though. Okay, the park is built, but now we need to watch another ad to proceed with the date. And wow, would you believe it? It's another sexual ad. Right now you might be wondering, are there any other ways to earn gems? Do we need to be watching these ads? Well, you can earn gems by completing the levels, but you only get 50 gems per level. And since after most levels you get an ad, I think it would actually take longer to get these gems if I was playing the game properly. Now that I'm done jacking off, watching the ad, it's time for our second date where the couple goes on a Ferris wheel. Here you have to move closer to the girl. I then just shove the side of my torso directly into her side, like the true gentleman I am. Hey, trust me, all girls love it when I pet them while levitating. You're actually the weird one for not liking this. After messing around with his body for way too long, I finally got into position and the two seem to enjoy their ride. Now we have to build a party per the guy's request. But honestly, do we even need to? This guy dances every opportunity there is. He is the party. Of course, we need to build the sets, resulting in 2 more ads, and then 1 more to actually go on the date. Alright, now we're partying. I proceed to show off my amazing moves, and now it's time to tap to twerk? Are you kidding me? This is the first time this game has been outwardly sexual. I guess I'm glad they're finally embracing it, but this is just unnecessary. The girl had so much fun and now wants to walk home. Of course you need to build the walk back, which involves 2 more ads and an extra one to go on the walk. On the walk you have to hold her hand, which makes her moan. I'm not sure exactly what you're supposed to do after that. I noticed that after I held her hand, there was a progress bar that appeared up top, so I just moved their arms around and the couple started walking really fast until suddenly the house just popped up. She then says, "So, this is me." And I don't know what to say here. At this point, I just feel broken. I like to imagine this guy is really trying to smash, so he just kind of goes along with this. Yeah, that's right. You're you. I never thought of it that way before. You are so smart, so deep, so wonderful, so beautiful. I have loved these dates with you. You always know the right thing to say. It's so impressive. You're just a fantastic person. I also love how you just snap your spine like that. I can either kiss or say goodnight. Of course I decide to lean in for that kiss. Now it's time for their proposal. So either there's a time skip here or she's got some great kissing skills because this man is proposing after 2 dates. There's now 3 things we need to get, resulting in 2 more ads playing to get them and 1 more to actually propose. I was surprised there weren't 4 ads given the extra item, but I guess they were feeling generous today. Now we make him propose and make her take the ring. They then start dancing as you naturally do after you get engaged. There's now 4 things you need to collect for the wedding, 3 more ads, and now you can walk down the aisle. Here you have to collect things like rings and Christmas ornaments, while avoiding things like cold feet and lack of commitment. Once you get to the end, you rub your face on his like a cat. So now we made it to the end of the story. Right? Like we filled up the meter, there was a happy ending, so it should be over, right? Nope. There's more. And there's no telling how many more levels are after this. If you were curious, in the next level, they're on their honeymoon, but for now, I am done sitting through these ads for these 2-second stories. I can't do this anymore. If you guys really want me to finish the story in a future video, then maybe I will, but for now, this is where the story ends. Now the moment you've been waiting for. How much time did I spend actually playing this game versus how much time did I spend watching ads? I played for almost 21 minutes, and during this time, I just played a couple levels and the entire story that you just watched. Less than 6 minutes of that was actual gameplay. Less than 6 minutes, which means there was over 14 minutes of just advertisements. And now keep in mind, when I was actually playing this game, I spent a lot more time messing around than anything else. Not to mention that I counted all of the cutscenes and all of the little in-between level complete screens as gameplay. So if I took this game seriously and didn't count the cutscenes as gameplay, I would have 1 minute and 52 seconds of gameplay in this entire recording. That is 9% gameplay, 19% story and messing around, and 72% advertisements. This is a good example of why a lot of people don't consider mobile gamers as real gamers. I know there are a lot of real games on mobile like Angry Birds, like that was my shit in 8th grade. But no matter how many real games you play on your phone, this is the reputation that surrounds it. The next day I picked up this game again just because. I completed a level and realized I was now making progress on getting a hug pack, and you know my lonely ass is going to grind for that. So I unlocked the hug pack and got a really cool ad with some awesome dinosaurs. Now I get to hug my hubby, but not before doing some demon shit. There's 9 levels in the hug pack, and it's just a bunch of different ways to hug the guy. From there I found out that there's other challenges, like this absolutely bizarre Squid Game ripoff where you have to dodge the lasers. All the levels are the same and they all suck. I also played the milk crate challenge, and that was actually too fun, so I had to uninstall the game. If enough of you like and subscribe, I guess I'll re-download the game and finish the story for you guys and maybe check out some more awful mobile games. But for now, thank you all for watching, and I hope you all have a fantastic Tuesday.